Hello everyone and welcome back to the Halls of Music. We are in the time signature of 4/4 today. We're going to be doing quarter note exercises with the chord G major. Please be sure to use the coordination that you developed with these exercises to be creative on your own at home. I have examples of how to do that in this video. If you are interested in expanding your vocabulary of open position chords on the guitar, then be sure to check out my book, Chord Warm-Ups, Book 1 for Beginner Guitar. This book has a great deal of exercises in it that allow you to switch between the chords so that you are sure to internalize both the name of the chord and where it is on the guitar, as well as get used to switching the chords. If you are motivated to do so, you can even use these exercises as templates to write your own music. Being creative with music is so very helpful. You've been listening to music your entire life. You have a store of knowledge inside of you, your favorite songs and the favorite guitar riffs that you can probably sing right now. Use that knowledge and that experience to build your skills with the guitar on a day-to-day basis. It is an exciting and fun adventure to participate with your own sense of creativity as you grow as a guitar player. All of the exercises in this video are going to be using the chord G major. A G major chord has the notes G, B, and D in it, no matter what order they come in. It could have a G in the bottom of the chord, or it could have a B, or it could have a D. The main thing to remember is that a G major chord has G, B, D. Let's take a look at the chord that we're going to be using throughout this video. We're going to take our second finger and place it on the 3rd fret of the 6th string for that G. We're going to take our first finger and place it on the 2nd fret of the 5th string for that B. Together, they sound like this. We'll play the 4th string open as a D. All three of those notes together sound like this, G, B, D. Or the 3rd string open is a G. Adding it to the rest of the chord sounds like this. Instead of having this B, 2nd string open, as part of the chord, we're going to put our 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of that B string, making that a D. All of that together sounds like this. Now, the last note that we're going to add is going to be a G on the 1st string with your pinky on the 3rd fret. All of the notes together. Even though G major is easy to strum because you're using all 6 strings, it is a good idea to be mindful of your right hand by watching and using your eyeballs. This will help you to concentrate on your right hand and to see what's going on as you strum through the exercises and even while being creative. A G major chord has the notes G, B, and D in it. No matter what order that you place those notes, it's going to be a G major chord. So if I have a G, B, D, obviously G is in the bottom, that's a G major chord. Now I could take this G right here out of the equation, and now my 2nd finger is free, and play now from this B here on the 1st finger out. That's a G major over the note B. I like to say G major over the bass note B because it's in the bottom of the chord, the lower end of the chord. You can also play with a D in the bass, but we'd have to release our 3rd finger from the 3rd fret on the 2nd string because we've got to have a B in there to make it a G major chord. So here we have D, G, B, G. That is a G major over the note D, or G major over the bass note D. When you strum that one, you will only be strumming from the 4th string out, so be sure to use your eyeballs. The first exercise in this video is going to be counting out loud throughout the entire exercise, strumming quarter notes. Every time you strum a quarter note, you're going to want your right hand to come right back up so that it has this kind of up and down motion going with the guitar. You may want to just do this for a bit. Try to make it as relaxed as you possibly can before you actually start striking the strings. This is what the exercise will look like and sound like. Remember, in this exercise, we are going to be counting out loud through the entire thing, counting to 4 over and over because we're in a 4/4 time signature, doing quarter notes. I will count to 4 and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you can do this as long as you want at home. You can spend as much time with this exercise. You don't have to do it as short as I do in the video. In this next exercise, we are going to be maintaining quarter notes without counting out loud the entire time. We will count ourselves in, but we want to maintain the pulse and the steady tempo without having to count the numbers out loud. I will count to 4 and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is useful if you bounce your leg sometimes, as long as it doesn't bounce the guitar too much. You can also move your body, your torso, or your head to keep the pulse going. Sort of as if you're dancing with the time signature while strumming quarter notes. Creative with quarter notes is a little different than being creative with half notes and whole notes. In this particular exercise, we're going to use the constant motion that quarter notes creates to maintain our creativity. Basically, what we can do is we don't even have to think that much about what we're playing. We can move our hand into the strings and strike them, or away from the strings with our hand continuing to go in a way that is random, and it's still going to sound pretty good. So I'll give you the first example with me just playing random strums. I will count to 4 and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. I could not help myself from doing repeated motives. I started out randomly, but then landed on some things that I thought sounded good and repeated those and used those to develop other ideas. I really could not help myself from doing it, but I guarantee you that it started out with me being random with my in and out motions. That's a really easy way to be creative. You can surprise yourself with what you're playing and what it sounds like and how cool it sounds. In this next example of being creative, we are going to go back to the idea of trying to tell a story with being creative. Remember, a story starts out kind of in a calm way, then there's some sort of conflict with a climax and then a little bit of a resolution. This is part of our artistic expression as human beings in music and in storytelling. In this example, we are going to be building on the knowledge that you got from my whole note video, which I hope that you have already done and had experience with. If not, please go do that. Also, we will be using my half note video examples for being creative to build into this particular example. In this example, we'll start with whole notes, then do half notes, and then eventually get into our continuous strums of quarter notes, building our arc. Because the whole notes have lots of space, then less space with half notes, and then lots of strums, and then less strums, and then finally back to whole notes again. creating a nice little arc and story with our rhythmic motives. When I'm doing my up-down quarter notes, I will be choosing at random how I play in the beginning. When I land on something that I like, I may end up repeating it. Here we go. Here's the example using whole notes, half notes, and quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. I also used dynamics in that particular example, where it got quiet and then louder and then quiet again, along with the increased amount of strumming. Have fun. In this next exercise, we're going to be building on a skill that you got from my half note videos, where we strum the bottom half of the chord on one beat and then the top half on the next. In the quarter note examples, we're going to be going by twice as fast. So if you find this difficult, you can go back to the half note videos and try it, and it'll be much easier. Or you can use YouTube to slow the video down. So this is what the technique will look like. If you have no experience doing this, it may be a good idea to practice just this idea of strumming the bottom part of the chord, then the top, a little bit at home on your own before you start trying to count and play. You want this coordination to be relaxed and feel easy, so be sure to use your eyeballs. I will count to 4 and begin the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. In this next exercise, we're going to maintain our bottom, top strumming. So be sure to use your eyeballs. Maintain the pulse as well without counting out loud through the entire exercise. You will want to count yourself in to establish the pulse and get it going. So count to 4 and then begin the exercise just like I do here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, you can use YouTube to slow the video down if this is going by at a little bit too quick a pace for you to do right now. Be sure to have fun and stay relaxed. So being creative with hitting the bottom half of the chord than the top half of the chord can be even more complicated than trying to be creative with this constant down-up motion. With this particular exercise, you can be random with when you hit the strings. But there may be a chance where you want to do 2 downs or 2 tops or 2 ups in a row or something like that. If you hear that or feel that or want to give that a try while you're being creative, please feel free to do so. This is an opportunity for you to try new things while keeping the rhythm going and entertaining yourself with your own sense of creative strum patterns. I will count myself in and then begin the example. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that example had some repeated downs in it, and I did the best I could with the down ups on the bottom and the top half to just include some variety and let myself experience some new sense of coordination with this particular exercise. Be sure to have fun and enjoy what you're doing. If you find this creative stuff to be really very frustrating, then you may just need to take it easy for now. Try doing creativity with simpler concepts like half notes, whole notes, or just the up-down quarter note exercises that we did already.